like as a tangible step, right? Some of the things you can do, like speaking to the point of letting it breathe, is literally like counting to 15 after somebody say something. If it's really, really a contentious conversation, because you have to let that person. One, there's two things that happen when you do that. You give yourself a chance to gather your thoughts, and the second thing is you let that person feel heard. Somebody feeling heard can de-escalate a situation. Like it could cut the tension in half just by acknowledging, even if you don't agree, just hearing them is enough sometimes to de-escalate a situation. And then there's phrases you can use like, okay, I can see how you could feel that way. However, and then you can validate it without saying that it's actually true, but they feel that way. So their feeling is true, but what they're trying to convey may not actually be rooted in reality. So it's tangible ways that you can go about this, but it requires some patience, and you have to have the desire to not want to hurt the person, get back at them, get revenge, or listen to respond. You really got to listen to try and interpret and see where you guys can meet at. Like I know y'all talked about, are you going down or up to meet the person? And my general philosophy on life, if we're speaking on relationships and men are the purported leaders of the relationship, it's gonna be on us to find a level that we can find correspondence at. And when we reach that level, then we can build upon that to whatever level you want to go to. But we do need the tools necessary in order to do that in a way that does not create more resentment and more contention, right? So yeah.
Real real quick, and I want to know if y'all noticed this as well. But what I'm noticing, the way that some people in relationships deal with each other, it's like there's no respect. Like I'm noticing there's a lot of relationships out here that exist where there is no respect there. We thinking that that's something that automatically comes along with being with somebody, but nowadays I'm like, yo, there's no way this person can respect you if they're doing this. And if respect is not there, none of this other stuff matters.
I agree, but like I said, I stand firm in people having self awareness is the catalyst to them not wanting to do something. If you can find an excuse for your behavior, you are avidly choosing to not do it.
Can I add?
Yeah, let me just say this real quick, and I think that plays to what Jay says too, because there are some people that are self-aware and know they're doing it, but they don't respect the individual, so that's the reason why they're doing it. So I think everybody is hitting on all cylinders. Let's make sure we try to put it all together because there's a lot of truth in what's being said right now. Go ahead, Sarah.
So, everybody has good points, but I think we're looking at it from our circumstances. For those who are highly self-aware, can interpret actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. But this is a rare skill. It is a skill that you have to learn and you have to develop it by practicing. So who tells you that you have to be self-aware? Because paradise is a great point. Yes, but not everybody has the skill. We're not born with that. We have to learn how to be self-aware. And who tells you to be, or who teaches you that? If he's not at home, then you can be and seek for professional help. And then, for those that, we don't go to therapy, if we don't, or, people out there that don't go to therapy, they usually go through this spiral, emotional driven interpretation of their circumstances. So that's pretty much what happens, that we're looking at it from where we at. So paradise, because you're self-aware now, you're looking at it from an advanced point of view. But we have to be empathetic enough with the others that don't have the skills. So you have to develop those skills. You have to let people know, hey, what if this and this and that? Because again, I agree with Nicole that she brought up the therapist. You seek for therapy because you want help, and they are not going to tell you what to do, but they're going to give you the tools and resources and the skills. They're going to develop the skills so you can actually learn the self-awareness that you say that you have now.
Okay. All right. I want to go ahead. I want to go ahead and kind of finish this off with
I
Nicole.
got one thing to say if I can, but if not, you can move on.
No. I was coming to y'all with Nicole, Bruiser, and Hink because I know they haven't spoke a lot of balance too. So let's go ahead and close it out with them, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Go ahead, Nicole, then Bruiser, and we'll come to Hink and Balance.
Oh, really quick. Yeah, Sarah hit it on a point with combining parents and Sarah. What they said was basically, succinctly, when you know you want a relationship, when you're old enough to realize you want a companionship and you want a relationship to last, there are tools that you need to have to be able to give to the other person as opposed to just taking. So that means you need to see, you're at an age, whatever age that is, you need to seek someone who can give you those tools to show up as your best self. We do that with work, we do that with college prep, law prep, medical school prep, driver's license school. We do this. We understand preparation, except when it comes to relationships. The other person is just supposed to understand. That's not fair. So,
Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo, what was said. Saida said, just going to go seek help, and I also wanted to respond to something Paris was emphasizing, the excuses. And the person on it that's listening to the people that's making excuses or complaint or telling them, hey, look, this is why this is not happening to me for me because I have a single mom or I have this condition. And what I think people listening tend to do is just look at, what was said alone, and they're not really going to layer deep. So, I mean, you could say you was raised by a single mom. What did your single mom expose you to? Was it drugs, abuse? There's layers deep that a therapist can go to. And what they do is what people do naturally is just tell you the secret. They tell you the secret. They tell you what you can do. But a therapist can actually provide a way you can implement the things that you can do. A lot of people struggle with, a lot of people make excuses because, they know what to do. They know they're supposed to be doing right, but they don't actually have the ability to implement the thing. So that's where a professional or expert come in and they actually guide you and show you steps you can take. So it's important to be able to look past just the surface. So when people are stating their problems, you've got to know that, hey, look, man, there might be something deeper going on. Because if you take 5 people and all 5 people say, hey, look, the reason why this is happening because I was raised with no parents in the home, I guarantee you every person, all 5 of those people is going to have a different story behind why they didn't have their parents. It's not going to be the same. And you got to treat every individual with that isolated or sensitivity, a level of sensitivity. Because you don't know. What we tend to do is paint everybody with the same paintbrush. Oh, all y'all made a thing about that's an excuse. No, what is each individual's issue? Somebody may have been sexually abused, or that might have something to do with their sexuality. It's a range of things that it can affect. So it's not like making the responsibility comes in whenever you take the advice, whenever you take the steps to get over the hump. That's where the responsibility comes in. And I think that's just what we need to be more aware of.